Hey guys, so welcome to the first of many of what I think is going to be a really awesome study tool for us, and something that's going to really help to transform our class to make it even more successful. So you're used to, I'll give you guys homework readings and things to read before we come to class. And the idea there is that if you come to class prepared, then we can spend class time engaging in more interesting discussions, modeling what's going to happen in history and so on. Oh, sorry, hold on, I forgot to do this. Check this out. Wait for it. Hey, what's up? So I'm here in Miss Cooper's class because her .cam is more effective than mine. I actually don't have the right cord for it. Anyway, she taught some of the teachers this program where we can show you things on the .cam and record it and so on, as well as obviously be able to see you guys on the video and so on. So we're going to be using this hopefully multiple times per week to help free up class time for us to do more practice, for me to be able to give you guys more models of how we can do writing and things like that. So, without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to get rid of myself. All right. So, like it says on the top of your page, today we're going to be studying the expansion of this Arabic empire known as the Caliphate. So I'm going to be referring to this empire throughout this video as the Caliphate to get you guys used to that term. And so in this session, we're going to be focusing on these three major questions here. So first, why did the early Muslims believe that this expansion was necessary? Second, where did they conquer? And then third, how were they so successful in conquering and ruling over this territory? So, without further ado, let's begin. So to answer this question, we first need to consider where Islam first developed. Now, we covered the rise of Islam today in class. So using your notes from class earlier today, in what part of the world did Islam arise? I'm going to pause for a minute. All right. So if you said Arabia, you were correct. So one cool thing that we can do here is label this origin of Islam. So Islam arises in Arabia. And in the 7th century, Arabia was in a pretty vulnerable position. So to help show you guys this, we're going to use this map. This is actually the map that I'm about to show you, but I know when it's in black and white, it's harder to figure out what's being shown. So let me pull this up real quick. And here we go. All right. So what you're seeing, this is the color version of what you're seeing on the map over here. So if it helps to just kind of outline it, again, these don't have to be perfectly matching, but all of this territory here coming down into Egypt and over here, all of this is the Byzantine Empire. And this other part over here, again, it doesn't have to be perfect, is the Persian Empire. Specifically, it was called the Sassanid Persian Empire. So this puts Arabia in a pretty vulnerable position. It's sandwiched between these two larger empires. The Byzantine Empire to the northwest, and this Sassanid Persian Empire down here to the northeast. So the early Islamic leaders, including Muhammad, were worried that if they didn't do something, one of these empires, either the Byzantine or the Persian, could invade and conquer Arabia. And they were worried that if that happened, the likelihood of their new religion surviving was really slim. So I'm going to annotate that off to the side here. So early Islamic leaders were worried that they could be conquered. So the idea was to protect this religion of theirs. If they created their own Islamic kingdom, then the religion could safely grow and they could gather new followers and so on. So they want to create this Islamic kingdom, like I said, to have a safe place for Islam. So really, that's the why. That's why this happens in the first place. There's sandwiched between these two large empires. It's growing. This religion is growing in this area, and they don't want to be conquered and then have that religion wiped out. So the next question that we have is where? Where are they conquering? Where did they expand to? And to show you guys this, this is a different image than the one that's on our notes here. But I think it's sometimes easier to see it in color, again up here on the picture. But when that print's in black and white, like it kind of shows up here, it's hard to tell the difference. So what it's showing is this is Europe up here. We have Africa down here. Here's Arabia, and then Asia's off to the side this way. So it's really the same frame, the same focus as we're seeing in this picture over to the right. So this creation of the caliphate was kind of slow by modern standards. However, by the standards of the time, these Arabic conquests must have seemed unstoppable. They created the largest empire in the world at that time, and one that was equivalent in size, if not actually slightly larger, than the Roman Empire. This thing was huge. The crazy part, though, is whereas it took Rome 300 years to reach its greatest size, it only took the Arabs a little more than 100 years to create this. So I just want to keep note of that kind of stuff. So they created this empire in just over 100 years. Again, I know that seems like a long time by our standards, but for the time period, it was really, really quick. So specifically 622 to 750 CE. Sorry about that. What makes this conquest even more impressive is that they weren't conquering some unclaimed backwoods part of the world. I mean, as you can see, referencing these empires that we mapped up here earlier, like to expand across this area, they had to conquer the Persians, and they actually did. They defeated this Persian Empire and took over this whole territory here. So that's what you're seeing down in this map when they expanded to this region. In addition to that, they defeated the Byzantine Empire in multiple battles and actually pushed them all the way back up into Turkey. So if we compare these two maps, the Byzantine Empire starts off controlling essentially this whole territory right in here, all of that land. And these Muslim Arabs actually pushed them all the way back up here to this dividing line in Turkey. So that's actually what you're seeing on this map over here in green. The green part is the Byzantine Empire, and the purple, this was the first area that the Muslims, the Arabs, expanded to. Next, they push across North Africa. And they do this fairly quickly, and even get as far up into Spain. And it's actually not until they pushed pretty far north, all the way up into France. And it's not until they got defeated in a battle against this guy named Charles Martel, cool name, he's known as Charles the Hammer, that they actually stopped this advance. I'm going to make a note of that. They were defeated by Charles Martel. And this advance, like the reason that this is so significant is a couple things. I mean, first of all, this is why, I mean, basically this defeat, quote unquote, saves Europe from this Muslim invasion. Interesting side question is, you know, would Europe have actually been better off had they not defeated the Muslims? I think a lot of historians would have said they would have. But in any case, interesting side notes, I mean, this is why areas like Morocco why they speak Arabic. I mean, Arabic is the language of the Arabs, the people from this region, and because of this conquest, people in Egypt, in Morocco, in Tunisia, all the way through this whole area speak Arabic because they were so successful. So before we dive into the how, one of the things about these videos is they're limited on time. I'm going to pause it for now. But before I do, a really good thing to do as a study tool is to stop and reflect on the material that we've just gone through. So, I mean, I took a couple notes here, but these are in my writing, and I've organized them, you know, in a way that makes sense to me. And it's a really good idea to go back through and just kind of process some of the main ideas, some of the big points that we've covered. Put it into your own words, rewrite it, maybe highlight things, and so on. So just as a study tool, a way to use these more effectively. But I'm going to pause for now, and then we'll transition on to the second video for this last part.